Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another class, class number 24. Not bad. We are progressing, we are improving, we're advancing, we're getting better, we're learning new things every day. You're getting more and more fluent with the English language. Okay, well, let's continue today. Today we have a lot of things to do, a lot of work to do, mucho trabajo por hacer. So, manos a la obra. Let's get down to work. Así se dice en inglés. Let's get down to work. Okay, but on camera number 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, there you are. Oh, how many books did you read last week? How many books did you read? How many books did you read? How many books? How many books did you read last week? Me? In 1 week? I don't read a complete book in 1 week. Okay, how many books did you read last month? Last month I read part of 1 book. Only? Come on. Can't you read 1 book in 1 month? Well, sometimes, but I read other things too. Oh, really? What else do you read, además de los libros, besides books? What else do you read besides books? Well, I read magazines. Do you read gossip magazines? No. No, I don't read normally. I don't read gossip magazines. By the way, what does gossip mean? What does gossip mean? How do you say gossip in Spanish? Gossip, chismorreo, la revista del corazón, gossip magazines. How do you spell it? Excuse me? How do you spell gossip? G-O-S-S-I-P, gossip, escrito, doble S en medio. Gossip. Ah, that's chismorreo. Right. So, the question is, do you read gossip magazines? No, I normally don't read gossip magazines, only in the hairdressers or the barber shop, waiting. I read gossip magazines. Well, what else do you read besides books? Well, I read magazines. Well, what kind of magazines do you read? I read financial magazines. I read general news magazines. I read magazines about sports. Yeah. And what else do you read? Well, what else? I read the newspaper. Ah. Did you read the newspaper yesterday? Yes, I read the newspaper yesterday. Where did you buy it? I didn't buy it. I read another person's magazine or newspaper. And what newspaper did you read? I read one of the daily newspapers. And do you buy the newspaper every day? No, I don't. How often do you buy the newspaper? I buy the newspaper about once a week. Okay. But I read the newspaper or part of the newspaper every day. And what else do you read besides books, magazines, and newspapers? Well, I also read articles or information on the web. On the web? Yes, on the internet. En español decís en internet. En inglés siempre el internet. Artículo va adelante. On internet. I read a lot of different things on the internet. I read the news from my country, from the United States, and I read the news from other countries, and I read local and national news here in Spain, and I read different websites about interesting information, or I read encyclopedia information. It's interesting. The web, the World Wide Web, internet, offers 1 billion pages of information, normally in English. To improve your English, it's a very good idea. Okay, every day I read. Yesterday I read. Yesterday I read a few pages from a book about philosophy. And yesterday I read 2 or 3 articles from a magazine about economics. And yesterday I read several letters and several emails in my office. I read. Okay, yesterday I read. Did you read? And do you know who? Do you know where? Do you know where I read on the internet? Do you know where I read the newspaper? Do you know who I am? Do you know where I am now? Do you know? Do you know why I teach English? No, I don't know why. I don't know why you teach English. Well, ask me why I teach English. Richard, yes? Why do you teach English? I teach English because I need money. If I didn't need money, I wouldn't teach English. Teaching is my profession, and my profession is to make a living. So I make a living, or I earn a living. Ganarse la vida. Dos formas en inglés, con hacer o con ganar. To make a living or to earn a living. I make a living teaching. I earn a living teaching. And so, why do I teach English? I don't teach English because I enjoy teaching, necessarily. I enjoy it. It's true. But that's not the basic reason. The basic reason that I teach English is because I need an activity to support myself and my family. To support. Que aquí no soportar es mantener a mí mismo y a mi familia. So I need an activity, and teaching English is a valid, legitimate activity. And so I teach English, and I enjoy it. But the basic reason why do I teach English? Why do I teach English? I teach English because I need money. I'm not wealthy. I'm not rich. Wealthy and rich, ambos se traducen por rico. Wealthy. Wealthy es una riqueza más tradicional, digamos. Rich is when you win the lottery. If you win the Christmas lottery, suddenly, de repente, suddenly you are rich. Tus herederos serán wealthy, porque es una riqueza ya establecida. Wealthy. Yes, that's why I teach. Do you know why I come here every day? I come here every day because they pay me. If they didn't pay me, I wouldn't come. That's why. Es por eso. That's why I come here every day. Which is true and not true. I come here because I enjoy teaching, and I come here because I want to teach you on television. Es un reto interesante. It's an interesting challenge, and I like interesting challenges. So, do you want to know why I come here? I come here to teach. I come here to have fun. Pasármelo bien. I come here because I enjoy teaching, and I come here because you constitute for me an interesting challenge. Okay, I'll pass you to another teacher and be back in a few minutes.
Thank you, Richard. My name is David Waddell, and I'm here to teach you some English. And I'm here with my wonderful, wonderful pupil, Luca. Lucky Luca. Isn't she lucky? Lucky Luca. How are you today?
Great, thank
Yes?
you. Yes.
You're well, yes?
Yes.
Ready to work hard?
Yes.
No doubt. of
No
course.
doubt.
Good. Okay, so today we're going to put into practice what Richard has just shown us, which was el repaso del clase anterior, ¿vale? Now, the first thing we looked at yesterday was another irregular verb. This time, the irregular verb is to read. To read, que es leer, claro, read. Now, what is the past simple of to read, Luca?
Read.
Read, read, pero escribe igual. Entonces, es un poco lioso esto. So, every day I read, yesterday I read. Se deletrea lo mismo, R-E-A-D. Very strange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions, putting to practice this verb. For example, did you read the paper yesterday? Did you read the paper? The paper is nuestra manera, el periódico, yeah?
Okay.
I mean, you can say newspaper, but paper is más coloquial. So did you read the paper yesterday, Luca?
Yes, I read the paper yesterday.
Good, I read the paper yesterday. Yes, I read, not read, yeah? No hay R español aquí. Red, mismo que el color, red, rojo, yeah? Red. Yes, I read the paper yesterday. Another thing, did you read the report yesterday, Luca?
Yes, I read the report yesterday.
Yes, I read the report yesterday. Repeat.
Yes, I read the report yesterday.
Muy bien, el R es muy importante. R, raro, read.
Read,
No,
read,
read.
read,
Did you
read.
read the report? Otra vez.
Yes, I read the report yesterday.
Read the report yesterday. Muy bien. En casa, did you read the report yesterday? Di que sí. Yes, I read the report yesterday. Raro, read the report. Okay. Luca, did you read a book last month?
Yes, I read a book last month.
Muy bien. Otra vez.
Yes, I read a book last month.
Yes, I read a book last month. Okay, en casa. Did you read a book last month? Yes, I read a book last month. Pasado simple del verbo read, which is leer. Okay, another one. Did you read the list yesterday?
Yes, I read the list yesterday.
Muy bien, repeat.
Yes, I read the list yesterday.
Eso no,
No, the
no
list.
me gusta. List.
List.
Otra vez.
Yes, I read the list yesterday.
Yes, I read the list yesterday. Otra vez.
Yes, I read the list yesterday.
Okay, en casa, did you read the list yesterday? Di que sí. Yes, I read the list yesterday. Muy bien. Now let's go on to the next point, which was preguntas indirectas. Okay, so if I say, for example, where's Peter? Eso es una pregunta directa. Indirecta sería, ¿sabes? Do you know where Peter is? Okay, porque la primera parte, do you know, es la pregunta. Entonces, la otra parte no debe ser en interrogativo. So, where Peter is, not where is Peter. You can't say, do you know where is Peter? Suena muy raro y es difícil de decirlo para mí, es que no es natural. Do you know where Peter is? Entonces, voy a decir algunas preguntas con where and why. Y tú tienes que convertirlas en preguntas indirectas con do you know? Do you know? For example, where are they? Where are they, Luca? Pregunta directa, where are they?
Do you know where they are?
Muy bien. Do you know where they are? Where they are. La pregunta es do you know? So where they are. Do you know where they are? ¿Sabes dónde están? Do you know where they are? Muy bien. Otra. Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? Directo. Where are my glasses? Pregunta indirecta.
Do you know where my glasses are?
Muy bien. Okay. Do you know where my glasses are? Queda más educada, ¿no? You know? Do you know where my glasses are? ¿Sabes dónde están mis gafas? Muy bien, okay. Where is Maria? Where's Maria? Pregunta directa. Where's Maria? Where's Maria? Cabreado. Where's Maria?
Do you know where Maria is?
Oh, tan educada. Do you know? Do you know where Maria is?
Suena más cursi esto, pero but you use it, ¿no?
Oh, claro que sí. Mucho, mucho. Los ingleses sobre todo, porque somos muy educados. Venga. Okay, where's my plan?
Do you know where my plan is?
Muy bien, muy bien. Algunos con why now. Why is he angry? Why is he angry?
Do you know why he is angry?
Good. Do you know why he's angry? Do you know why he's angry? Otro. Why are they late? Pregunta directa. Why are they late? Why are they late? Pregunta indirecta.
Do you know why they are late?
Good. Do you know why they are late? Do you know la pregunta? Do you know why they are late? Another one. Okay.
Can you say the contraction? Do you know
Why they're late? Mejor.
Do you know why
¿Qué crack es?
they're
late.
They're late.
They're late. Muy bien. Ok, no tenemos más tiempo. Entonces hay que practicar en casa. Es muy importante. Okay, so now I'm going to pass you over to Richard. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Okay, welcome back. All right, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, y allí 20. O 20, como decimos los americanos. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. Every day in my English classes, some student, at least one, and sometimes 5 or 10, have problems expressing the difference between 13 and 30, 14 and 40, etc. During the beginner section of this program, we have already seen this several times, but we are going to go over it. We are going to go over it, repasarlo, to review it, simplificando, pero la gente solemos decir go over. We need to go over it again and again and again. All right. 13, 14, 15. Las diferencias para un oído nativo es total. 13, 30. 14, 40. 15, 50. 16, 60. 17, 70. 18, 80. 19, 90. 90. Maybe for your ear, you can't differentiate, you can't distinguish, you can't tell the difference. Usamos el verbo to tell cuando es distinguir, discernir, to tell the difference between. And you can't tell the difference, but you need to refine your ear to hear it. 13, muchos profesores, incluidos muchos aquí, dicen que se acentúa la segunda sílaba. 13, 30. It's not necessarily true. Cuando hablamos de 13, 14, 15, the teens, acentuamos más o menos ambas sílabas por igual. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 13, 30, 14, 40, 1330. En ese año, en la Edad Media. The Middle Ages, 1330. Who was the king of Spain in 1330? I don't know. Excuse me. Who was the king of Spain in 1330? Repeat that question. Let me hear you. Repeat it to me. Who was the king of Spain in 1330? Well, Spain didn't exist. Of course, Spain didn't exist. Okay, who was the king of Aragon in 1330? You don't know? Who was the king of Castile in 1330? Was it Sancho I? Sancho II? Who was the king of Spain in 1330? Who was the king of Spain in 1440? 1440. Was it a Trastámara or before? Was it Pedro el Cruel? Peter the Cruel? Who was the king of Spain in 1440? Who was the king of Spain in 1550? I know. Oh yeah? Who? Who was the king of Spain in 1550? In 1550. In 1550. The king of Spain was Charles I. Charles I? Yes. Charles I of Spain and Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire, the father of Philip II, and the son of Philip the Handsome and Jane the Crazy, Juana la Loca. Okay? He was the king of Spain in 1550. The Habsburgs' house, the House of Austria, as you say here. Okay, and who was the king of Spain in 1660? Let's see, in 1660, the king of Spain was Philip IV. Philip IV or Charles II? Who was the king in 1660 of Spain? Let's see, Philip IV was the king, I think, of Spain in 1660. And who was the king of Spain in 1770? My God, in 1770, let's see. The king of Spain in 1770, 1770, 1770. ¿Oíste la diferencia? 1770, 1770. The king of Spain in 1770 was Charles III, the illustrious mayor of Madrid. Charles III, and he wasn't a Habsburg. He wasn't a member of the House of Austria. He was a member of the House of Bourbon. He was a Bourbon king, the third Bourbon king. In 1770, he was the king of Spain. And who was the king of Spain in 1880? I don't remember. I think in 1880, the king of Spain was Alphonse XIII, but he wasn't the king really because his mother was the regent, la regente, okay? She was the regent. I think Alphonse the 12th died before 1880, but I'm not sure. Can you help me on this question? Who was the king of Spain in 1880? Alphonse the 12th or his son, Alphonse the 13th? Who was the king of Spain in 1880? And finally, last question. Who was the king of Spain in 1990? Oh, that's easy. John Charles II, Juan Carlos. Primero, no segundo. John Charles I. He was, and he still is, he was the king in 1990, and he still is the king today. Okay. 1330, los años. Estoy diciendo los 7 años estos. 1330, 1440, 1550, 1660, 1770, 1880, and 1990. Okay? And I recommend you practice this, saying these years. And you can say it backwards. 3013, 4014. De esta forma podéis practicar acentuar la segunda sílaba de 13, 14. Escuchad. 3013, 4014, 5015. En esencia, las palabras 30, 40, 50 se dice, boom, una ráfaga corta, abrupta, y los teens se alargan. 1330. Al revés, 3013. 1440. 4014. 1550. 5015. 1660. 6016. 1770. 70. 70. 7617. 1880. 8018. And finally, 1990. 9019. Okay. Try to differentiate these words. Practice these 14 different numbers, because it's important to avoid possible important confusions. Okay, we'll go for a break, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, 1 minute before I pass the class to another teacher. But remember, numbers are more important than you think. If you work in a job, even in a job that doesn't involve numbers, it's surprising how often you need to use numbers. So if you use English in your job, or if in the future you will need to use English in your job, probably 5% of the time, very possibly 5% of the time or more, you will need to use numbers, figures, cifras, decimals, and different types of fractions and different types of figures to express yourself. So you need to know how to understand numbers and to express numbers. Remember this. Y no lo menospreciéis, okay? All right, another teacher, y pronto vuelvo. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. My name's David Wardell, and today we're going to look at 2 numbers, only 2 numbers. But before that, I'm going to introduce my student, Luca. How are you, Luca, today?
Fine.
You're fine. You're a little bit worried. Yeah, a little bit worried about numbers. Why?
Because I am not good at numbers.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
No, I hate them and I get confused. You know?
Yes, of course, a lot of people do. That's why we put a lot of emphasis on learning numbers in this course. You think, not another number dictation, otro dictado de números, but it's very important because it's one element that many people have problems with. But today, only 2 numbers, really. The difference between 17, 17, and 70. 70. See?
Yes.
Está bien, no? Okay. 17 and 70. 17, 70. You'll notice that 17, the emphasis is on the second syllable, whereas 70, the emphasis on the first syllable. So, for example, 13, 13, 30, 30. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Muy difícil, ¿no?
30.
Okay. 14, 40. 15, 50. 16, 60. 17, 70. 18, 80. 19, 90. So, this number dictation will concentrate on 17 and 70. So be very careful to listen to the ending of the number because it will end either in 17 or 70. So be very careful to listen to the end of the number. I will tell you and Luca three numbers, and you have to write them down. Luca is going to write her numbers down, and then after those three numbers, we will look at them, and I want you to say them en voz alta, aloud, en voz alta, okay? So, Luca, are you ready? You have your little whiteboard, pizarra.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you three numbers.
Okay.
So listen very, very carefully. They will all end in either 17 or 70. The first number is, are you ready en casa? ¿Estáis listos? Vale, okay. The first number is 717. I'll repeat it one more time. 717. Okay, this...
What did you... Can you repeat it? I'm getting confused.
Okay, listen very carefully to the ending of the number. 717.
Okay,
717.
The first one and I got it wrong.
Oh, Dios mío. No pasa nada. 717. The second number, okay? Be very, very aware of what I'm saying. Estate atenta, ¿vale? Okay, the second number is 570. 570. Write it down. 570. And the third number is 670. 670. Okay, so you have your three numbers. Now, Luca, now show the audience what you have written. Okay. Now, can you read the first number? They're all correct. Well done. 3 out of 3. The first number is?
The first number is 717.
Muy bien, 717. The second number?
The second number is 570.
No, 70. 70. 70. Repeat it.
570.
Good. Y en casa, dilo. 570. 570. Okay, and the third number, Luca?
670.
Again?
670.
Muy bien. Okay, so the first number was 717 con 17. The second one was 670 con 70, and the last one 670 con 70 again. So the next three numbers, are you ready again? Yes? The first number. Okay, write it down. Apúntalo. Write down. Apúntalo. Okay. The first number is 317. 317. Okay. The second number is 970. 970. And the third number is 417. 417. Okay, ¿qué tal, Luca?
I think it's okay.
I think you have 3 out of 3. Muy bien. Okay, you've got all 3 correct. Now, I want you to say them aloud, en voz alta, y en casa también. The first number is?
317.
Muy bien. The second number is?
970.
970. Muy bien. And the third number?
And the third number is 417.
17. Muy bien. En casa? Sí? Bien. 417. Not 70, 17. Okay. The next round, la próxima ronda. Okay, the third round, in fact. Now we're going to do slightly bigger numbers. Okay?
Okay.
Is that all right?
It's getting
more
and more difficult.
Cada vez más difícil. More and more difficult. This time with miles, okay?
Okay.
So, listen very carefully, especially to the end, because it's either going to be 70 or 17. Yep. Okay, the first number is 5,670. I'll repeat it one more time. 5,670. 5,670. The second number is, are you ready? Write it down, apúntalo. 8,370. 8,370. And the third The third number is, are you ready? Apúntalo, write it down. 5.
You get confused too.
Yeah, yo
It's not
también.
easy.
Bueno, okay. 5,417. 5,417. Okay, Luca,
Okay.
show the audience. Let's have a look. The first one is correct. The second one is correct. And the third one is correct. 3 out of 3. Now, say it aloud.
Okay. 5,670.
And 70. Muy bien. Okay, the second number.
8,370.
Muy bien. And the third one?
5,417.
17. 17. Dilo otra vez.
5,417.
Muy bien. Espero, I hope, that at home you're saying the same things, okay? We have time maybe just for one more. Maybe just two numbers here, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, go on then. 6,000 million, no. 6,670.
Okay.
And the second number is 1,717. Ah, there we go. Okay.
It's the
Now,
last one, but
that's
I
the last
think
one.
I've got it right.
I think you have. Good. They're both correct. Now
me
say it
points.
aloud.
6,670.
Good.
1,717.
Muy bien. Okay, in casa, please practice the numbers. They're very, very important. And now I'm going to pass you on to Richard. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay. Do you know who I am? Do you realize who I am? Don't take me for granted. No me deis por sentado. ¿Sabéis quién soy aquí? Do you know who I am? I'm the boss. Do you know who I am? Who I am? Y se me pregunta quién soy. Who am I? Who am I? Where am I? Where am I? What is this place? Yes. Why am I here? Okay. Al escuchar lo mismo con I don't know. Pero en la cámara número 1. 1, 2, 3. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am. I don't know why I'm here. And I don't know what this room is. I don't know what that object is pointing at me. Maybe it's a camera, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. What it is. Fijaos. Do you know what it is? ¿Sabes qué es? I think it's a camera. It looks like a camera. I can't touch it, but I imagine if I touch it, it will feel like a camera. I imagine if I smell it, it will smell like a camera. And if I taste it, it will taste like a camera. So I think it's a camera, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what it is? Fijaos, como digo, it is. La pregunta directa sería, what is it? I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? What's this? Do you know what this is? Do you know where it is? Do you know why it is in my left hand and not in my right hand? Do you know who? Do you know who Angela Merkel is? Do you know where she is today? Do you know how much she earns? El verbo lo estoy poniendo después. Es una pregunta, pero el verbo va después. Porque la pregunta es, do you know? Do you know where Mr. Obama lives? Do you know how much he earns? Do you know who his wife is? Do you know how many children he has? Do you know where the White House is? Do you know where Washington is? Do you know if Washington is in the east or in the west of the United States? Do you know who Maria is? Do you know who I am? Do you know why I'm here? Why are you here? Do you know who you are? ¿De verdad sabes quién eres? ¿De verdad? Do you know, really, do you really know who you are? Do you know why you are watching this program? Do you know how much you earn? Do you know where you live? Do you know where I live? Do you know where Maria lives? Do you know where my sister lives? Do you know how many fingers I have? Do you know what this ring means? All right. Do you know how many watches I have? Do you know how many lessons there are in this book? Do you know how many hours I spend here every day? No, I don't. Well, ask me, Richard, how many hours do you spend every day in this studio? Excuse me, I don't understand. What do you want to know? I want to know how many hours you spend. O sea, la pregunta directa es, how many hours do you spend in this studio? Y la indirecta, I want to know, quiero saber. I want to know how many hours you spend. Fijaos que no digo do you spend, porque en este caso no es una pregunta. Do you know how many hours I spend? Aquí sí es pregunta, pero la pregunta es do you know? No es how many hours do you spend. Me, I spend 1 hour here every day. 1 hour of class every day. So I spend an hour. And do you know how important English is for you? Do you know how many children Barack Obama has? Do you know how many states there are in the United States? No, I don't. Well, ask me how many states there are. How many states are there? Al revés. In the United States, there are 50 states in the United States. Do you know how many provinces there are in Spain? No, I don't know how many provinces there are. Ask me how many provinces there are. How many provinces are there in Spain? There are 50, plus Ceuta y Melilla. There are 50 provinces in Spain and 50 states in the States. And do you know what the biggest province is? In Spain. Yeah, in Spain. Do you know what the biggest province in Spain is? Es va al final, aunque meta 80,000 palabras en medio. Do you know what the biggest and most important and heaviest and most industrial province in Spain is? Pero, diciéndolo normal. Do you know what the biggest province in Spain is? In area or in population? In area. Yes, I do. What is, or contracción, what's the biggest province in Spain in area? Ciudad Real, I think, is the biggest province in Spain, or maybe Badajoz. Ah, so you don't know for sure. I'm not sure. It's either. It is either Badajoz or Ciudad Real, the biggest province in Spain in area. Okay. And do you know what the biggest province in Spain is in population? No. Well, yes, I do. Well, what's the biggest province in Spain in population? The biggest province in Spain in population is Madrid. Are you sure? Is Madrid bigger than Barcelona? I'm not sure. You see? You're not sure of anything. And what's the biggest state in the United States? Do you know what the biggest state in the United States in area is? Otra vez is al final. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what the biggest state in the United States in area is? Yes, I do. All right. All right. Don't sabelo todo. Mr. Know-it-all. What's the biggest state in the United States in area? The biggest state in the United States in area is Texas. Sorry, it's Alaska. Ah, Alaska. I forgot Alaska. Okay, well, we'll continue another day with geography. I'll be back in just a few minutes after our next teacher.
Thank you, Richard. Hello, everybody. I'm Kyle, and I'm here today with Marta. Marta, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good. Today we are in Class 24, the final part of Class 24. So as always, we have our 5 words of vocabulary, okay? And we're going to start with to fill out. This is a phrasal verb, verbo compuesto, phrasal verb, to fill out. What does this mean?
Rellenar.
Rellenar. To fill out an application, for example, fill out. Rellenar, to fill out. Repeat, fill out.
To fill out.
Fill out. Again?
Fill out.
Fill out. Y en casa, fill out. I'm filling out the form. Rellenar, to fill out. Cross out. Cross out.
Tachar.
Tachar. Cross out. Cross out.
Cross out.
Cross out.
Cross out.
Cross out.
Cross out.
Cross out. En casa? ¿Cómo? Cross out. Muy bien. Cross out.
Cross
Okay. Ministry. Ministry. Ministry?
Ministerio.
Ministerio. Ministry. Ministry. Ministerio. The ministry. The Ministry of Finance. The ministry, for example. Ministry. Ministry. Very good. Fishing.
Pescar.
Pescar. Well, I'm fishing. It's the gerund. Fishing. Yeah, pescar. Estoy pescando. I'm fishing. I love to go fishing. Do you ever go fishing?
No,
No?
I don't like.
You don't like fishing. 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 Y en casa? Fishing. 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 Say it one more time.
Fishing.
Sorry?
Fishing.
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 Okay, very good. And finally, arrival. Arrival. What is that?
La llegada.
Llegada. Arrival. So the arrival will be at 2 o'clock. The verb to arrive and the noun arrival. 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 We can't say Eso no vale. Arrival.
Arrival.
Arrival. ¿Y en casa? Arrival. Muy bien. Gracias. Arrival. Okay. Now we're going to practice with something very interesting. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Indirect questions. Indirect questions. Make sure you follow this carefully at home. We have Richard explained how the word order changes between direct questions and indirect questions. So take a look at that in your student guide, and we're going to practice now. I'm going to give you a question. What is it? And I want you to say, do you know what it is? The indirect question. So what is it?
Do you know what it is?
Do you know what it is? Who is his boss?
Do you know whose boss is?
Do you know who his boss is?
Who's his boss
Who?
is?
Who? Do you know who his boss is?
Do you know who his boss is?
Yes. Do you know who his boss is? Very good. What was the cause? In casa, what was the cause? And Marta, help them out.
Do you know what the cause was?
Was? Do you know what the cause was? Direct question. What was the cause? Indirect. Do you know what the cause was? Very good. Who is Michael Jordan?
Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Of course I do. Yes, yes, yes. What started it?
Excuse me?
What started it?
What
started it?
Do you know what? Sorry.
No. Do you know what started it?
What started?
Yeah, this
Is it?
What started it?
Started.
What started it? Do you know what started it?
Do you
So
know?
the word order doesn't change because the question word is the subject. Right? We'll practice more. That's explained in the student manual. Look at that in the student manual. Study that. We'll practice more with that a little bit later. What is a hamburger?
Do you know what a hamburger is?
Kyle, do you know what a hamburger is? Ask me.
Do you know what a hamburger is?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Who is Alberto Alonso?
Do you know who Alberto Alonso is?
Yes, I do. Of course I do. What was it? What was it? Do you know what it was? Very good. En voz alta, siempre en voz alta, por favor. Who is the king?
Do you know who the king is?
Do you know who the king is? Do you know who the king is? Yes. Who is Lance Armstrong?
Do you know who Lance Armstrong is?
Do you know who Lance Armstrong is? Yes. What is the solution? Ask me. Kyle, what is the solution? Kyle, do you know what the solution is? Yes, I do. Okay. Test my Spanish knowledge here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is sangria?
Do you know what sangria is?
Yes, I do. What is calimocho?
Do you know what calimocho is?
Do you know what Kyle?
Do you know?
Kyle the Canadian, do you know what calimocho is? Ask me again.
Do you know what calimocho is?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Do you know what? What is tinto de verano?
Do you know what tinto de verano is?
Yes, I do. What is horchata? Eh?
Do you know what horchata is?
Do you know what horchata is? Okay. At home, who is Santa Claus? Santa Claus. Ask me. Indirectly. Kyle, do you know who Santa Claus is? Do you know who Santa Claus is? Do you know who Santa Claus is?
Yes, I know.
Yes, I do. Do you?
Oh, okay.
Do you? In the short answer, the auxiliary verb repeats. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, he's the big man who gives gifts to children in
children.
certain, well, in some
In Christmas time.
countries at Christmas time. Well, he gives gifts to everyone, right?
Yep.
Ask me, okay. Well, who is Adolfo Suarez?
Suarez.
Sorry, Suarez, sorry.
That's right.
Sorry, Adolfo.
Do you know who Adolfo Suarez is?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, sure I do, yeah. He was the first Democratic president, right?
Yes.
Okay.
he was.
What is the answer? What is
Do you know
what
what-
is the answer?
Yeah.
Kyle, do you know?
What the answer is?
What the answer is? What the answer is? Yes. Who is? Here's a good one. Who is Wayne Gretzky? Who is Wayne
know-
Gretzky?
Do you know who wins
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky.
when? I don't know who is
Wow.
he.
Do you know who Wayne? Don't worry about the
Wayne-
pronunciation; it's a bit strange. Do you know who Wayne Gretzky is?
Gretzky.
Yes,
is?
of course. He was a famous Canadian ice hockey player, the greatest ice hockey sobre hielo player ever. He has every record. Yes, of course I know who he is. Who is my brother?
Do you know who your brother is?
Of course I do. He's my brother. Of course I know who he is. Who called her?
Do you know who called him?
Okay. En casa, do you know who called her? Of course I know who called her. So pay attention in the student manual to how the word order changes. Good job. Well done. And again, I'm going to leave you with Richard. Good job. See you next time.
Okay, one more class. Do you know who I am? Do you know where I am? Do you know what these are? Do you know what this is? Do you know how many people there are in this studio? Do you know how important English is? Do you know how many people there are in Spain? Do you know where my father was born? Do you know where my sister lives? Do you know how many people there are in China? Do you know how much tea, cuánta té, how much tea there is in China? Okay. Yes. Do you know lo que es las preguntas directas? Are you ready? Do you know if I am ready? Y las preguntas indirectas. Okay. Hay mucho trabajo con la gramática. Es parte del inglés. Pero la gramática es divertida para mí. Y tienes que hacerlo divertida para ti también. Y ayudará mucho a dominar este idioma. See you tomorrow.